Greetings everyone, Slizzle466 here, and today we're just gonna hang out, play some games on ladder, and the deck we're using is a deck that I came up with on my Twitch stream. So I was consistently losing to Mech Hunter, mainly because they were high rolling me, and what I thought was, well, couldn't Druid do this better? And so I noticed that Reno Jackson, who qualified for the Wild Open, qualified with an aggro Druid, quite a traditional one. And then Cold Story has this Mech Hunter, which everyone's been playing. So I kind of mashed the two decks together, and I went 12 and 6, 67% win rate, up to halfway through rank 3. So I'm just going to keep jamming it and see what happens. But it's definitely a lot of fun. It can high roll like crazy. It can also get stomped on by anything with taunts. But I just want to keep on experimenting with it, and maybe it's a deck that I can hit Legend with. It looks like we've queued into a Inner Fire Priest. And I've got my signature weaponized Piñata. Now, you don't have to run this if you don't want to. You might prefer to run a Replicating Menace or a Pilot of Shredder. But I just really like weaponized Piñata. I love random legendaries. It is, in some cases, a bit more value than a Pilot of Shredder. It's just fun. And who doesn't like having fun? That's the point of Hearthstone, right? So, I'm gonna get my legendary first, see what it is. Temperous. Well, that isn't a good one. That's okay. Can't win them all. I'm actually going to smack this just to whittle it down a bit, because I'm a little concerned about Divine Spirit Inner Fire shenanigans. So, some other late game that I love in this deck is the Fel Reaver. And we're just going to go in and slam this down right now and see if our opponent can deal with it. Usually when they can't deal with it, you win the game. And that's my sort of play. I like winning games on the spot. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Fel Reaver, it's a 5-mana 8/8 mech. Whenever your opponent plays a card, remove the top 3 cards of your deck. So, the downside actually doesn't matter, because you're not looking for specific combo pieces in aggro Druid. You're just looking for building a board and smacking your opponent down. Now, speaking of smacking our opponent down, we actually want to trade into the 3/2 here, because I would like my Jeeves to live. And that's the Power Word Glory effect, which I don't really care about.
This'll be good.
Okay. So the Jeeves is spooking him, but it looks like we're seeing... I'm not sure what we're going to see here. Oh, he's digging for... He plays another Dustbreaker. There it is. That's what it is. Well, living mana might actually save us. Now, you actually want to hero power first, because keep in mind, you're going to lose all 7 mana crystals, so you just want to get that extra attack in. We actually still have a chance because both Savage Roars are in the deck. He's played both Duskbreakers. He may have discovered one, though, off the Nether Spite. Now, he's going to lose a mana crystal here. Keep that in mind. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead here and just play the 1-drop and pass. Because I don't want to triple trade into that. So I have no way of really building a good board again. However, if he makes this a giant taunt, I don't really have much I can do.
I see a vision in these flames.
Another one? Okay.
I'm running out of cards.
Well, we lost, but let's let our opponent have some fun and have 2 turns.
Well played.
Because we're nice people here.
Secret agent coming! Secret agent coming!
That's too bad. Now, keep in mind that the reason we lost the game was 1, our opening hand was terrible, and 2, that 1/5 cleric was really hard to deal with. Interestingly, if I look over at my stats, just to have a look at what the how the matchups have been. I mean, it's been 5-1 against paladins, 3-2 against rogues, 3-2 against priests, 2-1 against mages. Struggles a bit against warlock, of course. So we have a different priest this time. So the Mulligan strategy for this deck is to always keep your 1-drops and your mech reduction cards. So basically, Cogmaster, Faithful Lumi, Living Roots, Mark of the Lotus, Mecharoo, Sir Finley Murgleton, those are all keeps. Galvanizer, Mech Warper, also keeps. Everything else, you don't want to keep. Now, we assume it's probably a big priest. I think we just play the Cogmaster here. And then next turn, we might consider either... It depends what we draw. If we draw a 1-drop mech, we'll most likely Galvanizer and make a giant board. Ooh, Lotus though. Galvanizer means that I can play the Reaver early. I don't think the triple buff is worth it. So I think we'll go with 1... and just take it slow. Okay, here we go. So this basically he might play the Barnes, but you know, Barnes in the statue will cause us trouble. He's doing that. Okay. So now we can go into crazy mode. Crazy mode being Roots, double Lotus. Just a casual 18 damage on turn 4. No big deal.
You have been.
Yeah. So there's the other case where the deck can just high roll out of control. So if this is a deck you want to try out, the deck code's is in the description below. There's plenty of room for tech. So let me know what you think in the comments. I already talked about the Piñata. Loatheb is a tech card, which you may or may not want to run. Fel Reaver is also a tech card. It's a little bit greedy. You may not want to use the Fel Reaver, especially if you don't own it. So again, we'll keep our 1-drops. I do think Living Mana is critical though, although Devolve is pretty annoying. And Psychic Scream, I really think it's necessary for the deck to have some extra momentum. So we assume it's a Secret Mage here. Well, that kind of makes it more obvious. It's a Secret Mage. And looks like our opponent is going to do that. I was expecting a Lackey into a Secret. That's a really nice top deck. What's cool here is that he has to use hero power just to clear a minion and lose that Secret Keeper. Okay, I think that's the correct play by opponent. Just go face. Okay, so we'll buff again. Now keep in mind that this guy can be a 5/3 with a mech. So we actually want to trade these ones in. And let him stay at 3 health.
This will be good.
So just playing a Secret here is pretty weak, but if he has the Kirantor Mage, that's a decent turn. Going for Icelands, he is spooked. Well, Piñata into either Living Mana or Loatheb is going to be great. I actually had a game on stream earlier today where I won because I got Zola of Piñata, and Zola onto Faithful Lumi gave me an extra, the extra 1 damage I needed for lethal. So now we think, can we 2-turn lethal here? So we can go 4/7, play the Loatheb, and then next turn we can go 11, 14, 19, and lethal with Savage Roar. So it's correct just to Loatheb here, and we should just win on the spot. And that's the power of Loatheb. There you go. Instant win. And this is the highest I've been with the deck at 4 stars. So again, I started playing this at rank 4 1 star, I think. Or maybe rank 4 2 stars, I can't remember. But it's definitely nice to be climbing with something that's a little bit out of the ordinary. So, our opponent counter-queued us. I am 100% sure that our opponent is even shaman. Because I don't think I've ever beaten an even shaman with this deck. So our opponent is not very nice. Did he counter queue us with Control Shaman? So I want a Cogmaster here, turn 2 Mech Warper Lumi, and then maybe Savage Roar on 3. One thing with Aggro Druid is you do have to plan several turns in advance. It's not a curve deck. It's a more technical deck than most people give it credit for. So this is pretty amazing. We can go Mech Warper, Coin, Annoyatron, buff the Annoyatron. I think buffing this is better than the 2-3. Do a trade there. Maybe he didn't counter Q. This is a weird deck to counter Q with. Okay. Ooh, now I was gonna Savage Roar. Savage Roar does 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Jeeves only gives me a card though. Is it really worth it? For a card? I don't think so. Because he can't play Volcano. Unless he got a Volcano off the far side. Okay. High roll, please. Oh, I meant high roll for me, not him.
Can I help you, sir? Let me get back.
Ooh. So the question here is... Oh yeah, the question here is... Do I want to draw 2 cards off my Jeeves, or do I want to board? I think I want to board. But Devolve is a card. If I Devolve, I just lose on the spot. We'll go ahead and Reaver. I'm pretty sure he would have kept Devolve. Because he knows that's how I lose. Okay, that's fine. The Jeeves is still alive. I think the play here is Living Roots the 0-2 and play Living Mana. The 0-2 spell power one, that is. I mean, Devolve is still bad, but it's not the end of the world now. Looks like he has Maelstrom Portal, though. Feels pretty bad. Interesting how he's not killing the Reaver. I guess he just wants my deck gone. I can Living Mana, and I still have one. I can Living Mana to give me 6 Stoods, and then I can actually buff them right now. It's actually pretty cool. But I mean, he's got +3 spell power. It's quite unfortunate. I'm dead to that. Well, that was not very nice, Ruoxiang, to counter Q us like that. Feels bad.
I can't win them all.
But that's one of the reasons, like, when I stream on Twitch or I record on YouTube, I usually wait a minute between games just because this happens, but that's life. At least you got to see Malago Shaman. It's kind of cool. Okay, rogue. Well, at least we're getting variety. Okay, well, these are all cards we don't want. Good hand. Then we can Mech Warp and Mecharoo on turn 2. Didn't mean to rhyme. Okay. I believe we have found a Kingsbane rogue. How do we trade here? This seems weak, but it means he can just take out that twice. If I hit there,
Let's see. Time goes short.
I hit there. This way I still get 2 minions on the board. Coin Kingsbane. Okay, that's good news. It's a pretty weak Lotus, but it has to be done. This requires him to need to have a weapon buff here. Okay. This, okay, that's respectable. I respect that play. Now, unfortunately here, we just gotta take the 3-2. Because we need board.
This'll be good.
Basically, the cards that make you never lose this matchup are Living Mana on 5, which would be amazing. Loethid might help. Okay, you got the buff. Galvanizer doesn't help, so we're gonna just have to play the Loethid, and he might trade with his pirate. Okay. We're in pretty big trouble here, not gonna lie. We just have to do nothing. There's no point playing the Galvanizers because they just die.
I want you, and you, and you.
This is unfortunately a conceit. Drawing both the Savage Roars with no board is just unwinnable. Try again. Yeah, against rogues, we have now 3-3, 50-50. It's not terrible. I mean, Kingsbane Rogue is one of the most popular decks right now. But the thing is, that's where there's room for tech, right? Like, you could tech in Galakas if you really wanted to. You could tech in Oozes for weapon removal. Like, there's a lot of room to tech. Now, I personally don't like keeping Power of the Wild. You might disagree with me. Let me know in the comments why you think so, but I just don't like keeping it. It's clunky on 2. I want my 1-drops and I want my Mark of the Lotus. Okay, the rematch. So we're gonna go with Mekaru. Then we can galvanize or buff the Mekaru.
Feed the fish, landlubber.
Our opponent is very good at Hearthstone. An unfortunate turn. So next turn I can Galvanizer Lumi. He's just gonna go ahead and hit me in the face, it looks like. Makes sense to hold. Okay, so now we can go Galvanizer. Galvanizer. Annoyatron. Buff Annoyatron. Slow him down a little bit. Okay, sap kind of hurts. Okay, I think it's Hero Power Trade Annoyatron because we want to save that Mark of the Lotus for the Living Mana. I can Living Mana on 5 into Lotus on 6, which is going to be pretty good. That is fine. Okay, the comeback. And that's the power of Living Mana on 5 in an aggro matchup. There's nothing he can do here to deal with this. Yeah, we spooked him. He's spooked. And rightly so.
I'm out of cards.
And this is great, so we can full trade here. This is so good. Okay, here we go. The question here is, do we go face? I think we do.
I'm out of cards.
I think he's spooked enough that he will actually trade that 5-3 in.
Feed the fish, landlubber.
Yes. Excellent shot, Cannon. Oh, thank you, Cannon. Doing such a good job. Winning 2-1 and 5 feels pretty good. Okay, so we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage with fatigue. I think we want to do the roots for the minions though, not the damage. 2, 4, 5 mana. Okay. There we go. That felt pretty good. Turns out living mana on 5 against Kingsbane Rogue is good. Okay, best of 3.
Watch that. The forest fights back.
So again, we keep 1-drops, we keep mech reduction cards. Okay, it's looking pretty good.
Feed the fish, landlubber.
So Galvanizer, you can galvanize a Lumi, which feels pretty bad. I think we wait a turn.
Let's see.
I want you, and you, and you.
Interesting, I like that. That's pretty spicy. Taking 2 and then it's still not time. Oh, this is a rough one.
This will be good.
It's just too clunky. He's gonna get 1,000 patches now. By 1,000, I mean 3. Oh no. This is a new tech. Oh no, we're so dead. We can't beat that. Well, just to show our fancy dance moves, I was gonna do this. If it wasn't for those the Lab Recruiter, which is not a normal card in Kingsbane, we would have stood a chance here. Let's just see what he does. Oh. Oh, and that cannon goes face too. That's 3 cannons in a row. The last 2 games that went 1 in 5 face. So far we've lost to an Inner Fire Priest. We beat a Big Priest. We lost to a Mulligan shaman who counter-queued us. Beat a Kingsbane. Sorry, lost to a Kingsbane, beat a Kingsbane, lost to a Kingsbane. Ooh, paladin. Okay.
I will fight with honor.
Oh yeah, and we also beat it. We also beat a secret mage. Now, Paladin, I've actually had amazing matchups against. I'm on the play, which is good. Okay, that's not good, though.
None
Okay, Odd Paladin. Now the correct play on turn 2 here is actually to make a 3-2. I'm pretty sure. Though it does depend. Maybe not.
The light dims, but we fight.
Unfortunate. I guess we wanted to trade. But if he has Corridor Creeper, that's huge for him. This lets us play a Reaver on 4. Into Living Mana on 5. I know that our opponent can't deal with a Fel Reaver, and I definitely know he can't deal with a Living Mana. Really? You're gonna really wish you had that Blessing of Might. Because you're about to get Fel Reavered. I've actually seen the occasional Odd Paladin run Outlaw Peacekeeper, but I'm pretty sure our opponent won't have it. Ooh, really?
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
So, here's the thing. I can smack the 3-3, play Living Mana. He can then play Quartermaster, clear the Reaver,
Let's see.
or value trade with the 2/2s, which makes no sense. Do I care about the Divine Shields? Probably.
What if?
So unfortunately, yeah, we trade. Three. This is a good face. Because now if he Quartermasters, he's gonna trade the Steward in anyway. Yeah, now we put our opponent in the think tank.
To arms, men!
Okay, so he's got a trade. Let's see what he does. Okay, so he's doing a triple trade. I am very happy with that. Yeah, you gotta go face here. Trading's a mistake, because I could have Power of the Wild. Ooh, Living Roots. Okay.
What if?
Do we ever just go all face? I think we do. All face and never look back. Because you shouldn't play around the second Quartermaster. And I'm at 25 health. Argent Protectors would be annoying. No, yeah, Argent Protectors would be... So not Argent, Righteous Protectors. Okay. So now my Savage Roar is active if I draw it. And that secret is most likely Avenge or Competitive Spirit.
Move quickly.
That's a Savage Roar. I highly doubt he runs Noble Sack. And it's lethal anyway. Wow, see? Sometimes going face is correct. That was a good one. I enjoyed that game. If you enjoyed that game, you might want to consider dropping a like on the video. Subscription to support the channel. Every person counts.
Versus draw.
Okay. We're up to the rank 2 players now. Now again, Shaman is an atrocious matchup. As I stated earlier, I've never beaten the Shaman with this deck. Haven't queued into that many, but for those that I did, I never won. Now this hand is the nuts though.
We have turned our curse into our strength.
Wow.
Powering up. Portals online. Time grows short.
It's a good 10-1. That's fine.
I can fix anything.
Go do one trade. We lose one guy. We'll be okay. So I mean, Devolve just ends us right here. Well, I mean, we have Power of the Wild. It's not the end of the world, but it makes us sad. Okay. Do I want minion or buff? I think I want minion. Of course, if he devolves, I still have 3 minions. Lava Shock. Okay. Wasn't expecting the Lava Shock.
This will be good.
Okay. So it looks like we're living mana into hopefully not devolve. Oh, he's overloading though. We like that. Okay. Piñata. This is, I like mana more though. Please don't be spell power. That's fine.
Mind if I roll
Whoa, that's a loot order. Now we play the game again of do we trade? I think I do one trade. And one here, but not the loot hoarder. I want the extra 2 damage. And I want him to make the trade. Another reason I want to make sure I have 3 mana in case he devolves me. What is this? I'm confused. Okay then. We got 7 damage on board. I think we lower their mecha roof face. No. Whew. I was a little worried that I should have traded in that 2/2. Okay. So again, we're back at rank 3, 4 stars. Current win rate with the deck is 17 and 10, 63% win rate. So again, it's not amazing, but keep in mind, you know, statistic-wise, when you start getting a sample size of 30 or more, the win rate is more believable. Okay, we have the same gentleman with the weird even shaman deck. But keep in mind that he would have mulliganed for Jade before, or Togwaggle. He wouldn't, now he knows what I am. So now I'm at more of a disadvantage. And that's one of the reasons why I think this deck has been working, is because people mulligan against the wrong archetype. This hand is also terrible.
We have turned our curse into our strength.
Okay, that's fair. On the, well, to be honest, I think that's not a good play, because usually you only coin Golem when your opponent plays a minion. So he gets a free trade, which kind of sucks. Hopefully it's not a healing totem. That's also not the greatest one. Okay. I need minions. And I want to play cards because of Jeeves. Do I have a Savage Roar though? Oh. I think I do. This feels really bad. That's correct. Because I'd rather use the Power of the Wild with the living mana. Okay. Never mind, we'll use Power of the Wild with Living Roots. We would love to see Devolve here. He'll never play it though, there's no way. Okay. Now we play the don't have devolve game again. Witchwood Piper. Okay. Interesting. I don't want to triple trade, so I'll just pass. It's really bad though. Maybe I got a triple trade. Yeah, I have to actually. Because he'll just trade back and have a good board.
This curse has become our greatest strength.
Ouch! That card. Oh dear. Okay. Well, I mean, he can trade into 4 of them. This is pretty bad. I don't think we win. It's a weird list. Obviously it's working for our opponent because he's ranked 2.
I hope you like my invention.
So draw heavy. I'd love to know his win condition. We are dead. Very dead. I guess I could have kept the Lumi for the Galvanizer, but... Ouch. So, I still think this deck has potential. I should also note that I find rank 3 is the most difficult rank to get through. I find once you push through to rank 2, the meta becomes a lot easier, especially when you start queuing into legend players who are just playing around. But yeah, again, the code's in the description if you want to try it out. Let me know what you think, how your experience went with the deck. If you like what you see, a subscription is a great way to support this YouTube channel. I also stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/slizzle466, and I tweet at twitter.com/slizzle466. Until next time, I hope to see you again.